All right, let's get right into it. Today, we are talking about faithfulness, but maybe not in the way you're used to thinking about it. We're going to look at it as a source of strength, especially for those times when a commitment just feels impossibly heavy and you think, I'm out, I can't do this anymore. So let's start with a feeling I'm pretty sure we've all had. That moment when staying just feels so much harder than leaving. I mean, seriously, have you ever been there? Maybe it's a job, a relationship, a project, whatever it is, that initial spark, that excitement is just gone. And all that's left is this weight. And this is the internal monologue that kicks in, right? The fun part is over. Now it feels like you're pulling all the weight, like it's totally one-sided. And you start to daydream about what it would feel like to just stop, to not have to try so hard anymore, not have to explain yourself. In that moment, walking away doesn't just feel like a good idea, it feels like total freedom. But here is the big pivot. That powerful urge to quit, it's not always some deep wisdom telling you it's time to move on. A lot of the time, it's not clarity at all. It's just weariness. You're just tired. So if the problem is just being tired, what's the solution? Well, let's shift gears and look at this really powerful metaphor that completely reframes the whole struggle. Let's talk about the orchard of faithfulness. So this whole idea is rooted in this verse from Galatians. And you got to pay attention to that word fruit. See, faithfulness isn't something we're supposed to just muscle through with willpower. It's supposed to be something that grows, naturally when we're connected to the right source. So what does this fruit of faithfulness actually look like? Man, I love this definition because it changes everything. It's not about big, heroic, intense moments of loyalty. No, it's about consistency. It's the quiet act of just showing up. And it's not about being perfect, it's about being present, especially when you're not perfect. So if we stick with this orchard idea, what is faithfulness? It's actually super simple. It's just staying on the branch. That's it. It's the choice to stay connected, especially when you can't see any growth, you can't see any fruit yet. It's about trusting the process. Okay, so let's unpack that a little more, because honestly, we have a lot of weird ideas about what real faithfulness is supposed to look like. Okay, this is huge. We get this idea in our heads that being faithful means we're not allowed to have doubts or get frustrated or have days where we just want to give up. But that's not it at all. Real faithfulness makes room for the struggle. It just doesn't let the struggle have the final say. And that brings us right back to that core idea we talked about. It's not about being the perfect employee or the perfect partner or the perfect parent. It's about being a present one. Just choosing to show up, to stay in it, to remain connected, even when things are messy and far from perfect. All right, this is where the rubber meets the road, because it's so easy to mistake feeling obligated or being afraid for actual faithfulness. So, how do we know the difference? I mean, look at this comparison. It's night and day, right? On one side, you've got spirit-grown faithfulness. It's when you stay because you feel rooted. It's a choice you make freely because you're sustained by a real living connection. But on the other side, you've got this counterfeit version. You're not staying because you're rooted. You're staying because you feel trapped. It's not driven by connection. It's driven by fear. Fear of change, fear of letting people down. It just survives on grim duty and obligation, and it will drain you dry until you're just resentfully going through the motions. So if that's what we want, that real spirit-grown faithfulness, how do we actually grow it? Well, it turns out it all boils down to one big shift in the kind of question we're asking ourselves. This is our default question, right? It's totally transactional. We're constantly doing the math. Is this still worth it? What's the return on my investment here? Is it still making me happy? But then there's this question, and this changes everything. Instead of focusing on what you're getting out of it, you focus on what you're plugged into. This question takes you from a transaction to a relationship. It asks, where am I drawing my life from here? And here's the big takeaway. That feeling of wanting to quit, it is almost always a symptom of a weakened connection. It's that simple. If you feel your faithfulness fading, the problem isn't necessarily the commitment itself. The first place you need to look is your connection to the source that's supposed to be feeding you. You just can't get fruit from a branch that's not connected. All right, for our last section, let's get super practical. Think of this as your faithfulness root check, something you can do anytime you feel that burnout creeping in. So here are 3 simple things you can try, like today. First, reconnect before you reconsider. Before you make that big decision to bail, just pause. Take a minute to reconnect to your why, to your source of strength. Second, show up in one small way. Forget the grand gestures. Just focus on one small, consistent act of being present. And third, release immediate rewards. You have to let go of the need to see results right now. Just trust that the good stuff, the fruit, it takes time to grow.
And this right here, this is the question that gets you there. It's not about beating yourself up, it's just about getting curious. Instead of judging the situation, you're diagnosing it. What's gotten in the way of the connection?
So I'll leave you with this to think about. That one area in your life where you feel that pull to just disengage, where you're feeling that weariness. What if, instead of asking, should I stay or should I go, you asked a different question? Where might renewed connection be the very answer you're looking for?